When you hear the word cosplay, what comes to mind? For some, it might be costumes at comic conventions, elaborated wigs, or photo shoots of their favorite anime characters. For others, cosplay might sound a little weird. But truth is, cosplay is far from strange. It's an art form. It's self-expression, and it's all about the fun and the admiration. One manga in particular that has caught my eye is My Dress-Up Darling, which in my opinion does an amazing job showing us why cosplay deserves more respect and appreciation for its craft. This is My Dress-Up Darling, written and illustrated by Shinichi Fukuda. But before we continue, if you enjoy this, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Thank you. The story is about Marin Kitagawa, a cheerful high school girl who absolutely loves cosplay. And Wakana Gojo, a quiet boy who's passionate about traditional doll making. One day, Marin finds out about Gojo's amazing sewing skills, and that moment changes everything. She asks him to help create her dream cosplays, and from there, the two start working together. As they bring each costume to life, they also start learning more and more about each other, forming a connection that is just as special as the outfits they create. But before we discuss My Dress-Up Darling, it's first and foremost important to get to know the origins of cosplay and where it comes from. Cosplay is short for costume play. It simply means dressing up as a character from an anime, manga, video game, movies, or even original designs. Just anything you like. Most people assume it's all about just wearing a costume, pretending to be a character. At its core, cosplay combines craft, performance, passion, and admiration. When we think of cosplay today, we imagine huge conventions, anime characters, superheroes, and fans turning creativity into art. But the cosplay's story is much older than that. The roots go all the way back to the 1500s, when people dressed in costumes at masquerades and festivals. By the 1900s, New York City became the early hub for this kind of fan culture. Costume balls and theater-inspired parties were everywhere, and people loved stepping into the shoes of their favorite characters from books, operas, and stage plays. In the 1930s, New York also saw the rise of science fiction fan communities. At the very first World Science Fiction Convention in 1939, held in New York, a fan named Forrest J. Ackerman showed up in a futuristic costume. This moment is often remembered as one of the sparks that lit the cosplay movement in America. Fast forward to 1980s, in Japan, the modern cosplay boom truly began. At events like Comiket, the world's largest fan convention, fans dressed as characters from anime, manga, and video games. It was here that the term cosplay was actually coined, combining costume and play. From Japan, the trend spread across the globe. Cosplay also expanded into different forms, including crossplay, when someone dresses as a character of a different gender. This added a whole new layer of creativity and freedom for fans to express themselves. And today, cosplay is everywhere. From small local meetups to international competitions, from casual hobbyists to professional models. Online, cosplay has exploded in popularity, reaching millions through social media, streaming, and digital communities. What started as costume parties and fan meetups over a century ago has grown into worldwide celebration of imagination, storytelling, and creativity. But where does this hype come from? Why is it that some people do spend hours upon hours, or even weeks, sewing costumes, styling wigs, or building props? For many, it's self-expression. Cosplay is a way to embody a character you love, to feel closer to their story, to show the admiration and appreciation that you have, maybe relatability, or even to show different sides of yourself. For others, it's about the creativity, because designing an entire costume is not easy. It takes blood, sweat, and tears to do the sewing, crafting, painting, and also problem solving along the way of creating just a single piece, let alone an entire costume. Each cosplay is a piece of wearable art. Look at your favorite movie or series character. Be it Star Wars, be it The Lord of the Rings, Marvel, anything that you can name. Most people look at the surface, and what I mean with that is that they notice most of the time only the actors. But what some people forget is that the entire atmosphere, including the costumes, adds so much flavor to their favorite characters. An example for this would be Anakin from Star Wars. Throughout the series, you see a transformation from being a Jedi to become the infamous Darth Vader consumed by the darkness. It's the subtlety which people normally don't notice until it's pointed out. And for many more, cosplay is simply also just about connection and community. Conventions and online groups bring people together from all over the world. Through cosplay, fans find belonging, friendship, and sometimes even careers all through cosplay. It doesn't matter whether you participate by actually cosplaying as a character, but also finding connection in appreciation for the craft. Cosplay is not just about dressing up, it's showing the world who you are, or who you dream of being. And yet, cosplay often, especially online, gets judged unfairly. Some people dismiss it as childish, nerdy, or cringe, labeling it as weird, simply because they are not familiar with it or only see the dirt that especially social media is pushing sometimes. Others assume it's only about attention or social media. But here is the thing. Cosplay isn't so different from the things society already accepts. Think about Halloween costumes, theater acting, or even sports fans dressing up in jerseys. No one says anything about that. So why is there a double standard when it comes to cosplay all of a sudden? Cosplay just goes a step further because it adds craft, detail, and fandom into the mix. In fact, some cosplayers often build professional level skills. They become either costume designers, photographers, or even influencers. Others simply find confidence and joy in creating something they are proud of. So instead of asking, why do people cosplay? Maybe the better question is, why not? And this is where My Dress Up Darling comes into play. What makes the series special is how it portrays cosplay in a fun way and positively. It doesn't just show the final costumes, but it shows the entire process of measuring, sewing, makeup, wig styling, and even budgeting for fabric. Through Marin's excitement and Gocho's craftsmanship, you can see cosplay is not a weird hobby, but a serious passion. The manga normalizes cosplay by showing how much joy, effort, and love goes into it. And perhaps most importantly, it makes cosplay more relatable. Even if you've never worn a costume in your life, you can understand what it feels like to care about something deeply, working hard for something, finding a community, and to express yourself without shame. So why does it matter how cosplay is portrayed? Because media shapes perception. For years, cosplay was niche, sometimes even mocked, and still is. But series like My Dress Up Darling help shift that narrative. They show cosplay as an art, passion, and culture. They inspire people to see cosplayers not as weirdos, but as artists, as fans, and as creators. And maybe for some, they even inspire the courage to try cosplay themselves. Cosplay is about passion, it's about community, and above all, it's about creativity. My Dress Up Darling reminds me that it's okay to love what you love, no matter what others think. Because in the end, cosplay isn't being weird. It's about being yourself in the most colorful, creative, and authentic way possible. So next time you see someone in cosplay, instead of judging, maybe think, wow, that is art in motion. Let me know your thoughts about My Dress Up Darling or cosplay in general. Thank you all so much for watching, and I see you all in my next video.